Some of the main core problems that people have before starting the Embodied I Ching is the lack of a true connection to their body. So they're really just a cognitive mind or a consciousness or a personality expressed out of balance out of their body, and it still might be quite functional for what they're trying to achieve in the world, but there's a real disconnect with their body. The reason it's called the Embodied I Ching is because it's a very embodied practice. Coming back home into the body is an art, and there's a process, and the more gentle that you're able to create that connection, the better that you will have. You know, just because someone lifts weights doesn't actually necessarily mean that they're embodied. Just because someone does martial arts doesn't necessarily mean that they're embodied. Just because someone does dancing doesn't necessarily mean they're embodied. Now, they're embodied in those art forms, but we're talking about a deeper connection to embodiment that's beyond just a style. And it's a somatic intelligence, it's a living intelligence that we're looking to reconnect with, to also integrate with our personality, our soul, and our spirit. You know, because we're seeing what's happening across the world, where leadership is disembodied from that natural intelligence, and the world is out of balance when it comes to the way that humanity lives on the planet. The planet itself is always in its natural balance, and it will always create its natural equilibrium. But the way that we're living on the planet, you know, as a human species, is out of balance. So it's up to us to recreate that. Nothing on the outside is going to do it. And if something does rebalance that on the outside, then it's probably going to be drastic, because any imbalance gets redirected quite strongly and very, very directly if we don't listen to the attunements. So that brings us into the next problem that people have when they're coming into the Embodied I Ching. It's the inability to truly listen to the subtleties and to listen to the changes, and to working with the Embodied I Ching. Basically, there's 8 elements. They transform into the 64 different hexagrams. They have 384 different lines of how yin and yang, Shiva Shakti, masculine, feminine, call it what you want. These two energies of duality or polarity that are interchanging with each other have 384 different expressions. And so that go on to infinity. But if we can get connected to those and understand those changes, which is a process of patience and timing and practice and skill and perseverance, and a gentle way to listen to the subtle, we can actually, through our 8 main areas of life, through the 8 main centers in the body, we can create a more balanced and harmonious environment for our own inner realm, our own inner kingdom, that makes everything that we're working with more effective. Because the most powerful position is the center. So if we're out of our center, we're out of our power. So maintaining that balance and harmony enables us to naturally flow with life. We can develop all the intelligence that we want cognitively, but if we're out of balance, then we're always off our center. If we come into balance, I'd rather be more balanced first of all, than to develop an overbalance. But sometimes the reason why we come back into balance is because we've gone over balance. So that really brings the third problem is most people are out of balance, and it doesn't necessarily mean that they're living a bad life. Some people are living an epic life, but they're not able to get to that next level of their transformation, or what their soul is really seeking, because they're looking from a different center point to the true center that they're actually orbiting around but haven't yet tasted. So most people are out of balance and out of that center. And balance isn't just some two-dimensional thing. I mean, that's one small view of balance. Balance is a living ecosystem that correlates to the 8 main centers, the organ systems, and and it might sound really complex when you break it all down, but remember, the third principle of the Embodied I Ching is simplicity. And so we're looking to just gradually, gently work on the most effective areas to move the needle forward, to create the balance and the harmony, and to build that proper foundation so we can really grow into the full potential and grow into that life that we're born to love and lead.